Tony, can I ask you a little bit about Fulham on the
Please.
kind of director of football operations side? The Premier League in general, we saw a drop from over £2 billion spent in the summer to a little over £70 million spent in this January window. January is always a smaller window, of course. But there is so much talk right now about the impact of financial fair play, the ability to do business, needing to sell to buy and all of that. Is that something that, for you personally, has led to lesser opportunities for business in January and something that you are having to take into a lot more consideration?
Well, absolutely. I think all the clubs in the Premier League and across England are bound to do the right thing and, operate within the constraints of financial fair play. And we are doing everything we can, and we have had some good success taking the team up to the Premier League and maintaining and growing the club. And we've been able to do it in compliance with financial fair play, and we're very proud of that, and we want to continue that. And I think we've made moves to really, this past summer, add to a squad that we were very happy with, that had done really great work. We have a core of a squad that we really believe in. And I think now, in January, a key thing for us was to get a striker because, we had the core of the squad. The big change was Alexander Mitrovic. Raul Jimenez has come in and done excellent work for us. And I think Raul Jimenez was a great signing for us. It's unfortunate he's been injured, but I thought it was a savvy move. Given where we were, Mitro wanted to leave and he wanted to go, and we were in a position where I would have loved for Mitro to be at Fulham forever, frankly, but it made sense for everyone, and we've gone out and that addressed that in the market after Raul's injury. And I do think it's exciting to be able to get a loan agreement, and we negotiated what I thought was a good deal for the club, and we were able to get a fair agreement for a loan for Broja, and I think that was a good deal for us. And Muniz scored in our last fixture and has been a good young player who came in as a young international player who we've loaned out, has gotten more experience playing in England, and I thought it was a big deal that Muniz got his first Premier League goal last week too.
Is it the injury to Raul Jimenez that means that you wouldn't have gone and tried to look for somebody permanently rather than on loan for Broja? Is that the kind of feeling behind it? Is that's why you had to go to loan?
We certainly were going to look for a deal that made sense financially for the club, but I think with Broja's arrival was a good package for the club. And there's certainly, with Raul's injury, I think we were already in the market, frankly, I could say, but also while we were already in the market, it puts even more emphasis knowing that Raul's unavailable. And, we've got big fixtures coming up, and Raul will be back for us this season, but there were going to be several weeks potentially. Now it's, he was out last week and again unavailable, so it's something to keep an eye on.
Considering, you wanted to keep Mitrovic and it didn't work out, João Palhinha right now is a guy who is coveted by, and rightly so, I think, based on his performances, a lot of clubs in the world. Do you at this point have to start to prepare for the possibility that somebody is just going to come and make you an offer you can't refuse? And how much of a loss would that be to the spine of your team if he does go? I
mean, João Palhinha is a phenomenal player, and I think Joao's acclamation and his experience in the Premier League has shown he's been an amazing player, and he's a huge part of the core of Fulham, and we love having him here, and I would want him as part of the team as long as possible. We were very happy to extend his contract, and if the offer came along that made sense for everyone, I think that's something you have to consider with every player at the right time. We've tried to build depth in the squad. We've had injuries, but now we have players coming back from injuries, so that's good. And we'll have players back from injury, and of course African Cup of Nations has been a huge part of it. We've had some really core players to the squad, and now with Iwobi and Bassi and the success that their teams have had, I mean, they're very important players to Fulham, and having them back will be really good for the team too coming up.
Is there any confidence you would be able to keep him if that's staunchly what you wanted to do, or is there just...
Well, we want to keep him, and we have kept him. I mean, he's been staying with us, and there's a lot of demand for João Palhinha. He, I think, was a great signing for us, and We have a great coach, Marco Silva. I love working with Marco. I think he's so phenomenal managing the squad, and also in addition to being a leader for the club, a face of the club, he's really somebody I love working with, and we work really closely together on the transfers and managing the squad. And I talk to him on a regular basis about these things. And I thought we made a great signing with João, and then there's now a huge market, and now eyes have opened, and I think he's a great player for Fulham. We love having him, and I would want João to stay with us as long as possible. And but it's a thing in the business. It's part of the business. Any time you sign a player, potentially, you're going to hopefully grow their value, and then that might mean people are going to come in. And it's an exciting part of the industry, but certainly he as a person, João, is essential to our team, and we love having him at Fulham.
Look, I think, Tony, you've set out well the challenges that you face, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate you always taking the time out to speak with us. We wish you the best of luck with big business and any signings that maybe you might make. We're excited to see them come along as well, and we look forward to seeing you back in London for All In this summer. I know you're in London all the time, but I mean specifically with AEW back at All In at Wembley. Can't wait. Well,
I'm coming back to London very soon. I'll be there next week, and I can't wait to hopefully see you again in London, and also at AEW All In, Wembley Stadium. But I think we've also built this great tradition visiting here at the Super Bowl.
Oh, we'll be here every year. Don't you worry, Tony. We
will
be here every single year. Thank you so much, sir. Really
Thank you, Will. It's
it.
great to see you, man. Thanks, man.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.